reacting to the YCS. This is a good matchup. Ryan Yang, Ryan Yang, I think, or Ryan Y versus Ruben P.
Match, like you said, very complex because
these guys are both pretty sweaty in the community, top tier players.
Your opponent's malliss cards will do.
Well, I don't think it matters necessarily what the sort of
Ignister Malliss versus Malliss. Let's go. We're gonna see some code talker stuff here, guys.
So I imagine Ruben is very ecstatic. But something that we've seen kind of change in a lot of Malliss decks is the inclusion of differing Cyberse Link 1s. Ever since Link Decoder got taken off and put on the forbidden list, we need to play more things like Lingariba, or even I've seen Salamangreat Almirage in some decks. So there could be a world where Ruben tries to do his normal standard Malliss combo, but he does it all with a Lingariba.
Well, speaking of standard combos, looks like after we use Dormouse effect to banish the Chessie Cat, we're going to go ahead and pay 300 to bring that out. Set the trap card, kind of showcasing maybe he's got the sauce, able to use that to dodge. Now we're going to use Chessie Cat's effect.
Yeah, I didn't spot which one that was, but okay, here we're seeing it very quickly.
So here we're going to have Chainlink 1 be Chessie Cat, but then Chainlink 2 will be Malliss CMTP07 to search for another Malliss name. We're able to activate it this turn because we are banishing the Dormouse as a part of that activation requirement. Not necessarily a cost, but yeah.
Okay.
All right, so we're getting Malliss March Hare, kind of the monster of the moment. Very powerful, really skyrocketed this already powerful deck back to the top cut.
Yeah, it's not one of the best to immediately start off with.
So yeah, guys, this is right after Alliance Insight came out.
It really does feel like it's the in-archetype bestial card for Mallisses.
And I think the biggest problem that it solves is you can now draw too many Malliss names, and it's now a good thing because now you can banish straight from the hand, which is just so important for this deck.
Well, it also helps the deck basically recover from its hits on the Forbidden Limited list, right? There are less Malliss names, well, it got a few new ones, not necessarily as powerful as the other ones, but gets access to them really quickly. And speaking of access, we got Splash Mage on the field to grab something out of the graveyard.
Yeah, one of the classic Link 2s that you go for. There's a lot of options, but when you've already used some of your banish effects, and you want to save those for later in the turn, Splash Mage is one of the more safe options, but it can get punished by things like this.
What is that?
Swarm coming out as a chain to Splash Mage
Save
effect.
And because that Dormouse early in the turn already used its banish effect to come back, it won't be able to go again, so we do need to find some other access to a Malliss name, otherwise getting to a Link 3 will be too difficult for Ruben.
Now we do still have that March Hare, so Ruben should still be able to play Yu-Gi-Oh right now, but what else is in the hand is the question, because there's a lot of lines that the Malliss cards can go down, and that's why I love watching the top duelists pilot this deck, because what
that's the brand new card, right, from Alliance Insight.
Just how strong the deck is, but we have a Nibiru, the Primal Being, at a very critical juncture. If we get to a Link 3, that is very good for Ruben. Not going to be able to get there.
Not to, glaze up Ryan too much, but this play's even more cool because he's going to get rid of his own Druid's Form, which will get rid of the token from Ruben's board, not give him any bodies to work with to keep Link climbing. Very heads-up play from Ryan to sequence the Druid's Form before the Nibiru.
Talked about it before, you always have to feel like Nibiru's in the room, but then if you play too conservatively, you might miss an opportunity here. So Ruben didn't do anything wrong, but the comment does come down sometimes.
Yeah, we gotta change the, what's the phrase, elephant in the room? It's the giant asteroid in the room. Okay, we are just throwing out cards left and right here.
Dang, Dominus Impulse too.
Ruben had the Malliss in Underground, which is fantastic to open, but we also have the Impulse to stop it on Ryan's side.
Well, the Impulse is stopping the White Rabbit's effects to special summon, but yeah, just the same, that Malliss in Underground is not going to get anything done. So drawing for turn and summoning the Dormouse.
Normal summon Dormouse is very scary, especially when you have the ability to attack your opponent on this turn. This could be all she wrote for Ruben if he doesn't have the same kind of level of interaction that Ryan had during his turn. Also, I want to give another huge shout out to Ryan here for his sequencing. Impulse after you use Nibiru is amazing, because if you Impulse before, you wouldn't be allowed to use Nibiru, the Primal Being, because it is a light monster.
One of the only ones that the Malliss deck will run. Happy that you were able to highlight that. And now Ryan has only one face-down unknown card to play through, and then I believe 3 in hand for Ruben.
Also, it is worth noting here, because of the attack boost that was given by Dormouse, we might have enough to do enough damage if we get just one more monster in place. You don't necessarily even need to go into any Link plays. We could just like summon another Malliss monster and attack.
So Ryan able to effectively dodge a counter Nibiru, as it were.
Yes, by playing under all the summons, exactly.
It's important because Ruben wasn't able to activate GWC 06 to gain life points back. He's still sitting at that
game, not even
lower life point total, 6,800.
But we want to see
this
code
is why I wear
talkers
glasses now, so I can actually read that on the screen. That was a difficulty before.
Dude, Ryan had a broken
and if
hand.
You're Ryan, you're probably thinking to yourself, okay, what could that set card
Oh my
be?
god.
Another Malliss trap. And we are going straight into battle phase, though.
I'll attack for 15.
We have 15 coming in from this first Dormouse.
Does Ruben have anything to absorb damage?
If that set card
Interact with the field.
is something like 06, it could get like an extra body in play, but if it's not, this could be all she wrote.
And it looks like Ryan is sequencing the smaller attacks first, almost in like an anti-Gores way, because you don't want something to come out with a GW06 and then block the shot of the Primal Being or something.
Waiting to
like
get punished by
that.
Tragodia here, you know?
Right.
Okay, save that for the Time Wizard format.
Also, if it is something like a Druid Swarm and stuff, he wants to make sure he saves his most powerful attack to clear over it.
Absolutely.
Exactly, yeah.
21.
So that's 5,000 damage if this goes through, but we do have the 06 from Ruben. This allows us to summon a Malliss from either the Banishment or the Graveyard.
Now, which one will he use? He's going to try to block
Trap
the
card's
Chessy
pretty
Cat.
good, huh? For the Malliss
no.
deck.
Not sure if he wants to do that. I think we're going to go for the Chessy Cat instead.
Okay, it'll be...
Oh.
Replay, I will attack. Yep. For 600.
Yep, so I'll take another additional
With your,
600.
32.
This is
And we're at
tight.
Attack directly. Yep. With your 200. Yep.
So the 3,000 from the Nibiru, he's down to, I believe, 200, if my quick math is correct. That's not even enough to activate a single Malliss effect for Ruben.
Yes.
Gonna have to do it the old-fashioned
Sorry,
way,
3 in
just
hand, right?
collect those monsters on the field. Maybe backup Adagnister might be able to get him back in the game.
I mean, I never thought I'd see a Malliss mirror match where a single Link 3 monster was summoned after all the damage was dealt.
Yeah.
But really good looking out, not overcommitting, certainly thinking, hey, I put the Nibiru down on my opponent's field, he could do the same to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but here we have the Red Ransom searching for Ryan's own Malliss in Underground.
Interesting to see that we hadn't seen a lot of Nibiru in the feature matches on day 1, but now already been very popular here on day 2, showing that the top duelists, they made the read. A lot of that, you know, the non-engine that you choose to play can be what dictates how far you can go in big tournaments like this. I think Nibiru is a fantastic option here.
I think someone once said, I don't care how strong your plan is, every duelist, when they get hit by a Nibiru, is going to get stumbled.
Yeah.
It's
The
that
rock
day
in the
2
room.
difference.
Here we have the Dark coming down. Going to be stealing a Malliss name
Guys,
from
this is
Ruben,
the
so
real
that way,
champion.
Ryan can keep playing.
Ruben P. He's the real
Going to go
champion.
straight into a Link 3 here. Probably going to be White Binder and get access to his Malliss trap cards.
The effect on summon, I will target this.
So you gotta wonder if Ruben isn't able to pay enough light points in order to get back in the game. Is he just kind of scoping out what it is that Ryan will do uninhibited?
Yes. Sure.
So here we got the 3 targets for White Binder's Banish. It's going to be Red Ransom, his own Dormouse, and 06. And now we're going to use Red Ransom, summon back out, and then banish from the deck. This could be the March Hare line, so we have access to that in case Ruben does have any plays on his turn.
Yeah. That quick effect
effect on
ability, really, really
6,
powerful.
Yeah.
This
so our
game's
total is
pretty much over,
6,200 life
guys.
points now for Ryan,
I think he's
as opposed
just
to
seeing
Ruben's
what this guy
200.
can do.
Like you said, Steven, though, that's
He's
not enough
trying
life
to
points to
just
really do any Malliss
Dissect
combos with.
what
Yeah.
he's
Certainly
doing,
is not.
so he's ready for it.
Asset GP.
So Ruben, the reigning TCG world champion, in the backseat here. Gonna have to, like you said, the Adagnister cards can help you get.
You guys
want to
become a better duelist? This
Because
is what you
don't
do
have
to
pay
do
life
it.
points to activate those effects, but you're going to be playing
This is what you do
theoretically into an
it.
established board, unless Ruben does still have a Nibiru in hand or something to stop.
Imagine he just gets
Ryan
nibbed
along
right
the
now.
path. Wow.
White Binder.
So here we see the power of Malliss on Underground, banishing Malliss in the Mirror, the brand new spell card from Alliance Insight, which will then
Malliss
allow you
in
to
the
banish
Mirror.
another
Yeah,
Malliss name from your
I
graveyard.
pulled that
hand.
card,
That'll
guys.
be the
Go
White
check out
Binder,
my
and then the
Alliance
March Hare
Insight
off the
opening.
Malliss in the
It's
Mirror.
pretty lit.
And now March Hare on White Binder on a brand new chain will pay 900, summon itself out, and draw another card for Ryan. Just showing off the extra
Honestly,
extension
I'm
you can
going
do
for
with the cards
Ruben.
From Alliance Insight.
Masterful play.
I
think we're
hope
about to see
Ruben
a
can
Tutor
make the
monster, speaking
comeback.
of at
Ryan's
Ignisters.
cool though.
Yeah,
Like
because we're
Ryan's
using
playing
Cyber's
really
Wicked to search for
smart, you know.
backup
Very
Adagnister.
good
So
play.
Ryan is playing some Adagnister cards, but he might not be
But I
playing
don't know
as
if
many
he's as
as we
good as
think,
you know. The
because
best. Me.
his designation on our website is Malliss only.
They don't want to see my deck. It would be Code Talker. It would say Code
For anyone
Talker
wondering, that doesn't mean that
Adagnister.
he's not
That's
playing
it.
any Adagnisters. It just means that not enough to really warrant that additional tag. So, still included in the combo here.
Here we gotta get the Cyberse Wizard, it looks like.
Yep, Wizard Adagnister was added from the deck to the hand. Ryan considering his next options. Playing at a great speed, though. Probably has been doing this all day.
There we go.
every day,
We
getting
see
ready for
some
this
new
event.
cards. Wizard Adagnister. That's what we want to
And
see.
again, very impressive to see all this after the fact, trying to dodge those things like Nibiru, like
Yeah.
Impulse that you were talking about. If you
Finally,
can do enough damage
my
to
favorite
almost beat a
cards are
mouse player,
actually
that's
meta.
Sure.
Splash
And again, I
names.
just want to highlight how different this sequencing is compared to
Bring
a
back
lot of the
Mouse
other
Hair.
Malliss players that we were seeing on day 1, even in the earlier feature matches.
Whatever the hell that card is.
Just because when you put
Was he gonna
this
link
deck in the
4
hands of some
into,
of
like,
the
a Malliss
smartest
card, huh?
brains to pick up Yu-Gi-Oh
Yeah.
cards, it is just beautiful seeing
Link
how
3
they
Malliss or
choose to
something?
navigate. Like, if you just map out Malliss effects as a decision tree, that's a really big tree. That's
yeah.
that's an oak right
How
there.
come none of these
You
guys
get a
use Neo
PhD
Tempest
in how to play
Terahertz?
this Malice deck. It is insane.
That's what I want to know.
You
Is
have
it
to be a
not good
computer
enough?
programmer to use this deck, it feels like sometimes.
It would probably help.
Well, Ryan showing that world champions are built different. Great field here. It looks like we're going to go ahead and combine the Heart Scripture there and up.
Summon bomber.
Oh, the topologic!
Yeah, this was something we
Topologic.
saw a little bit in day one. This is a really fun way to have like sort of a Raigeki-like effect as your end board interaction because all of your stuff is in the graveyard. So once you clear with Bomber, then you can activate all your other cards to bring your
Cole's
stuff
using
back. And it's really
freaking
powerful.
revolvers
Who needs to play
card.
Mitsurugi when you could just play topologic Bomber Dragon?
Okay, so Ruben's first problem to fight through is the... Oh, I was going to say, nothing anymore because he's conceding.
Wow, do you think he was just holding out for the next draw or he
Ooh.
really wanted to see the information?
He really wanted to learn how Ryan plays his Malliss deck, for sure. He wanted to see, do you have access to Allied Kotaker? Do you have lines to go into the backup Agnister and stuff?
Are you running the topological Bomber Dragon? Things
Exactly.
like that, yeah. So he did get information, actually, in terms of some things that Ryan is on. And, I mean, when you see as strong of a start of an opening hand that Ruben had, it's very rare to see the game go to the opponent, but Ryan had the correct cards to answer, the Dominus Impulse, the Nibiru. And again, the sequencing, like
This
you
guy's
highlighted,
gonna have to
Steven,
run hecka
being
hand
able to play those
traps.
correctly to counter his opponent's moves. I mean,
He's
just
definitely
class
gonna
acts
need a
there from
Nibiru.
Ryan. Really, really well played.
Yeah, it's almost interesting to see, you know, me and
Or
Steven
it's
have been
over
talking
for
all
this
weekend
game.
that, like, one-for-one interactions, like Effect Veiler and Imperm, yes, they're still really strong, but they just don't seem to get the job done against these powerful combo decks like Malliss. But when you pair stuff like Impulse with things like Nibiru the Primal Being or even Bestial Druisworm, it becomes so much more valuable for you. Honestly, I'd say the biggest thing that we learned about Ryan's deck was he is playing Bestials. Not a lot of, you know, Agnister Mouse players are on the Bestials because they're like, March here already does that same job. Why would I need more cards to do the same thing? Well,
Yeah.
they don't necessarily do the same thing because you can disrupt your opponent at the same time with cards like the Bestials.
What I've seen typically is with the addition
Ruben's
of March
got his
Hare,
back
you
against the
still
wall.
can run Bestials, but it's just not that insanely thick, you
He
know,
looked
Bestial
pretty
count that we
pissed
used
off,
to have,
guys.
where you're running like upwards of 6 Bestials in the main deck.
Game face on.
Because it also just doesn't do as much against
gotta dial it up.
the mirror match unless you're saving it for something, you
'Cause
know,
this
like
guy,
that backup Agnister,
Ryan-
or rather the Wizard.
Ryan
to
K
get that
is
additional
not
card
playing
from the
games right
graveyard.
now.
So, yeah, I think that having the count still makes sense, but you're right that it's not as common in every single Malliss deck. We have seen some builds without them.
Both duels seem to be locked in and ready to go. Fairly quick side decking there. Again, both duels will have a reprisal performance at the World Championship, so this is almost just
this
practice,
top
right? Just hanging
32
out,
cut.
playing against some of the best duelists in the world. This is how you get this good, is you get up this top, and then you keep getting it again and again and again, so you get that matchup experience that is just world class.
Oh, yeah,
Right.
this is definitely a matchup that these two have been prepared for this event. They know how they want to side, they know what they're going to bring in, and they know how they're going to play. They have their opening hands ready. My assumption is Ruben's going to go first. Let's see how game 2 of top 32 shapes up.
Ryan versus Ruben. Ryan currently sitting with one game in his favor in this best of 3. And now we'll have it be Ruben's choice. He won the dice roll before, but after losing, he gets to choose to go first.
Main phase is good. Ruben's going to begin his turn.
So no Mulcharmies, presumably.
Or at least not yet. Some people do hold off on their Milcharmy just to kind of see the opponent get a little too deep.
True, now that the triple tactic sound is only at 1, and some people
Backup
aren't
at
even
Agnister.
main decking it, so...
Well, Ruben's favorite card was Triple Tactics Talent.
It was?
Yeah, so maybe we'll see.
I think he was sad about the
Ash
Forbidden
Plus.
and Limited list.
Maybe, but a
Maybe.
duelist like that, he don't worry about it.
Interesting start here for Ruben.
Yes, the normal summon of the backup was ashed, and therefore it cannot continue, so we need some kind of Malliss extender, like a Gold Sarcophagus or a Malliss in Underground, to keep playing from here. Just backup alone will not be enough. Maybe something like link off into Lingaribo, summon, you know, Agnister Wizard if we have it, but we probably don't because we started with the backup, so a little bit of an awkward spot here from Ruben. Nowhere near as strong as the start he had in game 1.
Yeah, the Lingaribo in the mirror match will at least allow you to interact with your
Oh, he
opponent's
has-
trap cards. But okay, we do have the Wizard.
Turns out I'm a little
He has the
psychic, I
wizard.
guess. Ruben was able to open the Cypress combo
That's a
without the
Cypress
need.
monster, not a Psychic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, I'm psychic, yes.
Okay, sorry. I misheard.
Haha.
Full Cyberse
Cyber
combo,
sleeves never
guys.
better.
Let's go.
Oh, there's the Mulcharmy held off to the last second. That's
You were
something
right.
Fellow teammate Jesse Cottony's infamous for holding those really powerful cards just so late to where you don't think you have them anymore. Maybe that's something he passed on to Ryan.
Wow.
Or maybe Ryan told him.
Not gonna destroy this. Go ahead.
So here we have the pass from Ruben over to Ryan. Ryan's just double checking how Agnister Wizard works, because essentially this card has like an effect to change the battle position of cards. That might come up here. I think it has it on summon though, so I don't know if you could do it on your opponent's turn.
Nothing too crazy yet. You'd almost think that this was not so much a playmaker deck, but an eye deck, right?
Yes. Ooh, I'm eyeing the only card that Ryan's going to start with here is going to be White Rabbit.
So I'm looking at Wizard Adignister. It has the ability to banish a card from your field or graveyard, then target a monster your opponent controls, changes battle position, but not a quick effect.
Yes.
So only on your turn.
So there we got the MTP07 from Ryan. This could give us access to March Hare, which would be pretty cool, but we're just going to link off into our own Lingeribo.
Talk about a literal mirror match.
Effective backup.
But here we have the
Lingeribo.
backup Agnester to special summon itself because we control a Cyber Link monster.
Very similar start between these duelists. And another Ash! So Ruben has the same counter.
Response.
This is a proper mirror match here. We're mirroring the same board in the same place.
Yeah.
2 cards in hand. I think Ryan may be passing his turn.
Thinking. Sure.
Oh, the Lingeribo stare down. Both of those guys are so mad.
Honestly, that Lingeribo play from Ruben's really huge because it turns off Ryan's ability to use MTP07 to get into the rest of his Malliss engine,
Yeah.
which is maybe something he was hoping for. It is worth noting that with the inclusion of March Hare, thanks to White Rabbit, MTP07 becomes a bit of a starter now, but more than it used to be. It kind of serves a similar role. As
No
TP
way
left.
that's enough to beat
Now,
this
I was
guy.
surprised to see that this is the tempo of a Malliss
One
mirror match.
Ash.
This is our first one here on the stream, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's a lot different than you'd expect.
Yeah.
A lot more non-engine wars going on versus like a bunch of just Link 3s flying around.
Well, that's the thing with the updated FNL list is that, you know, all the other Malliss is going to 2. Yes, you have March Hare now, but doesn't necessarily mean that you will never brick. But we do have the Haggard Lizardos. For cost, going to banish that White Rabbit and then pay 300 to bring it back. So Ryan was at least able to get back into the Malliss cards.
Ooh, and we are going to go for a ransom now that we're going to be able to dodge the Ash on that card because it was already used earlier in the turn. This will get us access to Malliss and Underground, which, as we saw earlier, can give us access to things like Malliss in the Mirror or other Malliss names.
Now, importantly,
I don't think this guy can
unless
beat him
there's a
though
line I'm
today,
unaware of, Ryan
'cause he has
might
his
have to
cards
go to
in
battle
defense
phase to clear
mode.
this Lingeribo so that you can actually use your traps.
He's probably gonna go
Challenge
access
strike,
code
Which then
talker,
could
huh?
mean that Ruben, yeah, there we go. So that means Ruben will at least get another turn, but you're going to be playing into, theoretically, a scary field.
Yeah, because you're totally right. Without having access to the Malliss trap cards here, Ryan would have been sort of overextending, really relying on this Malliss and Underground to take him all the way if he wanted to like go for game necessarily.
That's why Lingeribo was such a powerful card in the mirror match specifically, because you can stop your opponent from, you know, fully comboing off. Just sitting on that can sometimes just guarantee that you get another turn.
Yep, and I believe we've taken a total of 1,500 life points as Ryan using all these Malliss effects, bringing him down to 65 to Ruben's 6,000. A bit more life points than last time for Ruben, so if he gets access to Malliss names, he will be able to pop off, as the kids say.
Is that what they're saying? I thought that's what we said when we were kids.
I've heard it.
Okay.
Speaking of kids, let the old man grandpa here get back into the duel here. We're going to have Jesse Cat go ahead
Okay,
and
Gramps.
attack and clear out those monsters.
Yep, we were still in the battle phase, everyone, in case you guys
Yeah.
couldn't tell.
Nah,
From all
trap
the
did
summoning of
activate.
monsters.
Malliss has a habit of just summoning guys whenever they feel like it, you know?
Yep, so we have the effect of Chesty Cat here, banishing Hare, Hare effect to add itself back. We just got a free draw 2. No big deal, no big deal.
I think it's a pretty big deal, personally.
If you're Ruben, maybe.
Yeah. Not ideal, for sure.
This guy needs like
But Ryan's feeling really good. Ryan's in a dominant position right now.
a splash mage. There it is, guys. Just brings back whatever card he
Okay, we're
wants.
just going to keep climbing up. We want to get as many Link 3s as possible, it looks like, for Ryan. He might just end on the same board we saw last time, Bomber Dragon plus Malliss trap cards.
This is why I know I could never play Malliss, because the concept of linking like 5 material down to 3, I can't do it. It doesn't work in my brain. I understand it's correct, but it is the difference maker between the top Malliss players and folks like myself who avoid them.
Well, as you used to say, that's why they're up there and we're back here.
Exactly. I love reminding people there's a very good reason that I'm on this side of the desk.
It is a little antithetical to think, oh man, all my powerful Link 3 monsters, they're so great. Where are they most powerful? In my graveyard. Oh, they're most powerful in my graveyard? Oh, okay. I guess I'll put them there?
Yeah? Use them for later. Save them for a rainy day.
Yeah. And now we're going to be doing Dormouse. We've done all this without resolving Dormouse's effect, by the way, y'all. Isn't that nuts?
Yeah.
Yeah, rain's coming down hard on Ruben right now. He's got, what, 1 card face down, and I can't see how many in hand. There's 1 there. I don't know if there's any stacked. But not a lot of resources to play with, as he just has to watch Ryan combo off.
Effective gain 3,000.
He's all
Oh,
dark
wow, and he's going to
lord.
have 1 last card if that Access Code Talker resolves.
Yeah, -1.
But in the open game state, we're going to make sure we fire out this MTP07 because if we wait for the Access Code Talker to banish, we won't be able to chain it.
Yeah, so on resolution of the Access Code Talker targeting the Link in the graveyard, you can't do this. And now there's no target for Access Code Talker to try and remove on the field, and we know that Ruben will have some form of starter. will it actually be able to trigger is the question.
Yeah.
Access code talker.
March Hare banishing binder that's a special kind of play right there. I love that a little too much, I think.
Yeah, just a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh happening here, but it looks like just confirming everything here as White Binder hits the field.
Yeah, but I believe we used every single Malice name except for Dormouses to banish. No, I think we did banish Dormouse as well. And send it back. So I think we've used them all right now.
I feel like
Yeah,
my
I don't
deck
see
can
Malice
beat
and Underground, I
these
believe.
decks.
Yeah,
They're not
besides
that good.
Which we could go into right now.
These Malice
But a
decks are
reminder, this is main
overrated.
phase 2 because we had to go battle phase to clear Lingaribo, so that means that it's guaranteed Ruben will get to go a little bit more in this duel. It's just like, how are you going to play from this position is the question at this point. Yep. Set a couple of back row. Hard scripter. Pass.
Ruben's been in the jam before, but let's see how he does now.
Again, we saw Ryan sequence his non-engine very well and his interruptions very well in game 1, but this will be a pretty tough one because even though we have the non-target banish of MTPO7 and Hard Scripter, against Malice cards, that might not be the best. He might save those for the bigger Link monsters.
Well, speaking of saving, this Allure of Darkness might have gotten him back in the duel. He's going to go ahead and
Allure
draw
of
2,
Darkness,
figure out
that's a
which
good
dark
card,
monster he
huh?
wants to banish. Could be that Dormouse that I believe he just drew, and that could really get him back in here.
Could be a little backup at Ignister too. It's hard to see with the glare.
I think I did see a backup, yeah.
57?
This is a little bit of a risky line from Ruben because now this Dormouse can be banished permanently.
That's the tricky thing in the mirror match is that if you banish your opponent's monsters, they come back. But now, Targadon's back, and there we go.
But this could be just one giant ploy to protect whatever his other Malice normal summon is.
Yes,
I know
if
you
we do have a
have
March Hare or
MTP set in
something,
which
and we
column?
can get that banished, we can get that Dormouse back in the normal summon, we'll
And then
see.
in your hand, I don't
Nothing
know
in hand.
March Hare because
I
you
wanna
used it
listen in
last
a little
turn,
bit.
correct?
Correct.
Yep, Ruben's just making sure he has all the information he needs to make his plays accurately. I believe the only known thing is the set MTPU7, and that is it.
A lot of unknown unknowns. Ruben
Yeah.
considering his
This
options.
guy's cooked, bro.
I mean, he did get back in the game with the Allure of Darkness for sure, but now he's basically back to the same situation. He's just got a few cards in hand, nothing to speak of on the field.
And he needs to use Malice cards to start his combos off, because if he doesn't, he leaves himself open to the MTPO7 non-target banish.
Normal summon?
Okay, he received
Using
it.
effect?
No effect on summon.
He is just summoning the backup.
No effect to Surge.
This could be a Lingaribo line. If he has a second one in his extra deck, potentially. That could
They
be
never expect the second Lingaribo.
They never do,
I can
honestly.
tell ya, with confidence. And it's the second Lingaribo.
Oh, wow, and using the extra link material spot there opened up by the Heart Scripter.
That's actually really big because it just allows him to go into things like White Binder more seamlessly.
All right. Okay, maybe the second.
Oh, I told you! That is
That is-
Ruben's favorite card for a reason.
That is 1 of 1 as well. He's like, I can't make my own Heart Scripter.
Dang,
I'll
that's a
take yours,
good-
though.
Yeah. And I mean, he didn't have that many resources to go for, but the Search of Dormouse, the Allure of Darkness to draw 2, dig a little bit deeper into that deck, is now putting Ruben in a position where he's playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Against a very established field.
All right, we're going to chain Lingaribo on the chain of MTPO7
Dang,
to
good
banish
play.
and negate that card.
But that kind of forces the Lingaribo to go away, so
Wow.
if the other two trap cards are high impact, now Lingaribo's no longer there to
This
negate
guy's
them.
ahead of the.
Yes, also MTPO7 gets a lot worse when you do not control a Malice Link 3.
On summon.
Okay.
Or on resolution.
It's a good point, yeah, he wouldn't get the banish effect at that point, so might as well just use it now.
And it is a little bit risky for Ruben to have this Heart Scripter because we're going to attempt to use its effect. Yeah, to my knowledge, he is able to...
Permanents.
Oh, wow.
Oh. Okay. So Ruben has committed his normal summon, correct? That was a normal
He
summon
has from
backup.
the backup operator. There's going to be backup at Ignister.
Yeah.
But we have a second one, but there's the dominant symbols to
Oh,
keep it off the board, and
wow.
Ruben offers the handshake in concession. Ryan Yu is the winner of this top 32
That's
mirror
GGs,
match
bro.
of Malice between two
Nice try, though.
world champions.
Dang.
What an upset. 32 beating first place.
Yeah, it's incredible, but Ryan's showing that he has absolutely every right to be here. Not only